we officially welcome the members of the Maria Holder Memorial Trust to St. Lucia. In case you don't know, St. Lucia is an exciting place to be. You must have heard about our gold medals. I'm not sure if you have heard about our Grammy lately. If you have not, please look that up. We are thankful for the opportunity to be here again. This is the second leg of the gift of the Maria Holder Memorial Trust to the nation and people of St. Lucia, particularly the special education subsector. And so we welcome you to St. Lucia, we welcome you to this session. We have with us Peter Simmons, who is a trustee of the trust. We have the top administrators of the ministry here with us, and I think that speaks to the importance of this initiative. Honorable Minister, we are glad that you're with us this morning, and we welcome you. Our Parliamentary Secretary, Dr. Pauline Antoine Prosper, is with us, and we thank you for taking the time to be with us. Mr. Kodra, as the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, we're glad for the legwork that you have done behind the scenes to make this happen this morning. We are also thankful, Chief, that you're with us. Ms. Beverly Diodoni is the Chief Education Officer, and we're glad that she could be here. I want to thank Mr. Celestine Alexander for also doing, I think if you check his call log, you will probably see my name there more than anything else. But over the last few days, you've made magic happen. And we also want to thank Ms. Adena Richards of Beachcomber. You're a good partner of the Ministry of Education, and we thank you for how you have assisted us. We have with us the principal of Donata School, Ms. Antonia Joseph, who is a fabulous principal, doing wonders for the children with special needs. And Donata School will be the chief beneficiary of this new bus, serving really the north of the island, where children with special needs are concerned. And so I want to welcome all of you. Welcome to the Communications Unit, and thank you very much for being here.
The Maria Holder Memorial Trust celebrated its 15th anniversary last year, and we are starting our 16th year with making this donation this morning to the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training. You're just like Barbados, a long word for a ministry, but there it is. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Beachcomber Limited for working with us to make both the donations of the vehicles a reality. We are very pleased that they're happy that they were able to deliver. Thank you again, Beachcomber. My understanding is that the previously donated vehicle has since been servicing the people of Dennery due to the needs within that community, and has assisted many students who require the service. I hope it's going well. I know, Mr. Minister, I think you're the representative for that area, so you can tell us more than anyone else as to the value and the service that it commits. This new vehicle that we are going to hand over this morning will cover the central areas, including Donator School. I may have pronounced that incorrectly, my apologies. The vehicles were requested and needed due to the issues faced by many families with special needs youth. Lack of transportation, in my view, should never be a determining factor in whether a child is able to attend school. Education is important, and I should say that Maria Holder, the late matriarch, one of her tenets in life was that education was critical. And so therefore it becomes even more critical for those students who are differently able, as they require the stimulation and should have the same access as everyone else to attend school. Thus, the provision of these vehicles ought to take some of the pressure and burden off of the parents and allow some of them that have limited funds for transportation to be able to save some money and deploy that funds elsewhere. I have not been informed, and I don't know whether you, Rochelle, if the Ministry of Education has done an assessment, nor aware how the families have reacted or benefited from the service by our first vehicle donation, but I'm pretty confident that it should have made a definite improvement, and the Maria Holder Trust expects that it continues to do so hereafter. The plight of people with disabilities is often highlighted, and we are cognizant that while some work is being undertaken and policies are being worked on for the benefit of the population, more needs to be done. I think it's an ongoing challenge that the governments of the Caribbean have, and we just hope that they continue to look into this aspect. We don't know if these two vehicles are enough to service the populations. I think I averted the fact earlier about this being a relay. However, and certainly with disabilities, this is but, in our opinion, a first step in trying to arrest a problem that was highlighted by you all, you here in St. Lucia. And we look forward to receiving reports on the impact that is made by us with these donations. So please, at the appropriate time, sooner rather than later, please let our CEO know what impact is being made. It helps us to analyze, assess, and therefore we know exactly what is happening. Education happens to be one of the biggest sectors funded by the Maria Holder Memorial Trust, and it's followed closely by the health sector. Here in St. Lucia, the Maria Holder Memorial Trust has only done a number of small projects on this island. I think it's 5 in total, Rochelle, is that about that? But I believe also that to date, the influence or impact has been far-reaching. The education and sports program at the special needs schools through the Sacred Sports Foundation was our very first project to be funded in St. Lucia, and it provided the occasion to work also with you, Mr. St-Juste, and your department, and other opportunities to partner thereafter arose. Through the King's Trust International, we are happy to provide funding along with other partners to assist the Community Relations Branch of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force with their team program that has already supported 57 St. Lucians between the ages of 17 and 30 who were deemed to be at-risk youth. I recall very vividly both Ms. Roach and myself having a discussion with your Prime Minister in Barbados at Government House when the then Prince Charles was visiting Barbados. He's now the King of England, not our King, but the King of England, as we become a republic. And with Mr. Pierre, we had a very frank, open discussion about projects here in St. Lucia, also particularly the work that the Prince's Trust, now the King's Trust International, was doing and intended to do. We have also funded the Owen King EU Hospital with the Oxygen Housing section and provided hampers through the work being done at Raise Your Voice SLU to assist victims of gender-based violence. We have had some good partners over the period here in St. Lucia, and we are extremely pleased and delighted to have been associated with them all. On behalf of the founders, Christopher Holder, Chesterfield Brewster, my fellow trustees, and the executive team of the Maria Holder Memorial Trust, and particularly our lovely, hard-working Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Rochelle Roach, present today, as you can see here on my left, I implore you to put this second vehicle that we are going to hand over to very good use and be heavily utilized to be able to assist more students and parents in St. Lucia, particularly in the areas in which it's going to be deployed. Thank you very much to every one of you. Nice to see you. Nice to be here in St. Lucia again.
The Ministry of Education believes in providing quality educational experiences to all students without exemption. We embrace the values of equity and inclusion, applying the limited resources of our small island developing state to benefit all learners, regardless of their abilities. But the truth is, the large number of competing needs in the education sector can sometimes leave some undesirable gaps. And we are happy today that you can help us to fill one of those gaps. And that is the reason we are always excited to have partners like the Maria Holder Memorial Trust, who are prepared to support us in our quest to bridge these gaps, particularly in serving some of the most vulnerable learners in the education system. In 2023, you donated a brand new wheelchair accessible Toyota Hiace bus valued at over $250,000 EC, which has been in service to the students with disabilities in the Dennery Child Development Center in Lakai. During the handover of that vehicle, you promised a second vehicle, and you have kept your word. I think the Prime Minister always says, promise made, promise kept. This is the second bus that you have donated. The second vehicle will be in service to the students with multiple disabilities in the north of the island, with a base at the Donato School. It is no small matter that the Maria Holder Memorial Trust has contributed to the asset base in support for special education to the tune in excess of $500,000. This deserves, I am sure you will agree with me, a round of applause. The best thing about this donation is its impact. And I heard Mr. Simon speaking about the impact, but we'll let you know.
It may well guide us to determine
whether we are going to get a few more buses. These buses are increasing school attendance for students with multiple disabilities who cannot negotiate conventional public bus options. It helps to free up parents to access income-generating activities while a door-to-door to school-to-door service is provided to the child. Because a lot of parents have to stay home because the children cannot access school. Saving low-income families money and time. Engaging safe and unharassed transfer of students to and from school, thus increasing the chances of them meeting learning targets and experience overall improved well-being. So on behalf of the government and the people of St. Lucia, and particularly the special needs community, we express our sincere gratitude and pledge to care for these vehicles in such a way that they will add value to our education product for as long as possible while we wait for the new ones. We thank you so very much.
Mine is a very simple task, and that is to express the collective gratitude of not just the senior management personnel in the Ministry of Education, but the government of St. Lucia to the Maria Holder Memorial Trust for once again assisting the Ministry of Education and the government of St. Lucia in the discharge of our duties to a very sensitive, very special, very critical subsector within the education fraternity. We take special education very, very seriously. And as we speak, a comprehensive SEND policy is being put together with funding from the Caribbean Development Bank under the EQUIP project. This is late in coming, but I must say I'm satisfied with the strides that we've made in very recent times as it relates to how we treat matters related to special education. And one of the main challenges that parents would have had or still continue to have in some geographic pockets of our country is how they get their children to school. Children, or the parents of children who do not have special needs, are finding it difficult in certain parts to get their children to school. So you can well imagine what a parent with a special needs child has to go through on a daily basis. We have been fortunate to have received one bus thus far, and today a second. But this represents a very bold commitment on your part from the Maria Holder Foundation. to helping the government of St. Lucia meet our objective in its totality, whereby we can service every district, every community by way of transportation services to students with special needs. The first bus that we received just under 2 years ago, I can tell you, I see it practically every day because it operates within the confines of my constituency. And there's an energy, there's a satisfaction, there's a radiation of joy on the faces of, and I say that with all sincerity, on the faces of the students. Only day before yesterday, when we had our leg in Dennery North of the Independence Battle Relay, the bus actually stopped so that I could have photographed the two students who were in the front with the driver, Leandra from Grand Ravine and Lyndon, who's also from Grand Ravine, both teenagers. And they ride in air-conditioned comfort. And trust me, they waste no time in acknowledging my presence as parliamentary rep with the most vigorous of waves you can see on an afternoon. The parents I've interfaced with, they've been very, very pleased. They've expressed their gratitude in very unbridled forms. And they speak of how much of a burden has been alleviated from them as it relates to getting their children from home and into an environment of learning. You have challenged us indirectly as a government to ensure that we can match the resources that you've put forward. As I indicated, we are very committed to giving our students the best educational experience in this country, irrespective of the child's station in life. I know the principal of the Donato School is here. Ours is not the only school where we have children with special needs, but at that particular school, the Donato School, it is a flagship institution as far as the provision of services for growth and inclusion of our students is concerned. They have led the charge in the Castries Basin, and I know that the addition of this bus to the equipment and the resources they have at their disposal will go a long way in enhancing the development of the children and making them meaningful contributors to the advancement of St. Lucia's society in their own small and unique ways. So once again, on behalf of the government of St. Lucia, the Cabinet of Ministers, the team from the Ministry of Education, Mr. Simmons, I want to thank you immensely for coming to the fore again. And I know now that I should expect, once I hear you on island, that it will give us all the reasons to smile. I must commend Beachcomber for working with you, working with the Ministry of Education for retrofitting the bus. When the parliamentary secretary spoke, she said that the bus was somewhere in the vicinity of, or it was more than $250,000, but I'd rather say it's just under $500,000, because I think the total cost of retrofitting and procuring the bus is somewhere in the region of $425,000. That is money well spent, and we, as a Ministry of Education, we fully endorse that kind of expenditure to a sector in our education fraternity, as I said, which is so critical and so pivotal. And it speaks a lot to our conscience as a people. It speaks to the mindset as a people that we can pause, we can put resources aside, justifiably so, to meet our special needs students, to give them opportunities for growth, and to create avenues for which they can meaningfully contribute to the advancement of our country. So once again, thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing the bus on the road, and I look forward to the parents themselves expressing personal and collective satisfaction and gratitude for that intervention. Thank you very much.